Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Shit's about to hit the fan. Welcome to Unsanctioned Thursdays on Wrestling with Freddie.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show that you guys asked for, that you guys got, and we keep it going because you guys keep listening. Unsanctioned. And today we start our series where we're shining a light on some of the hardworking talent in the independent wrestling scene. And today is our very first guest, and his name is Vinny Pacifico. Welcome to the show, Vinny. How are you, sir?
Doing very well. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
How often do you work out? Because you're swole as hell, bro.
Appreciate that. Pretty much 6 days a week, and I have one active recovery day.
I'm trying to get in good shape. I'm 48 years old. I've been busting my ass at the gym, and I did a move wrong, and I hurt my back, and it's been screwed for a week, and it's the most mentally depressing thing I've dealt with in a long time, man.
What'd you do?
I was doing the sled press, and I used my back instead of just the chest, and I felt it pinch right away, and I was like, yeah, I'm old. This is going to take a while to recover from. But I was doing so good, man, and now I'm hurt and old and broken. But you're young and you're in good shape, sir. I want to talk to you about what it's like to go from being a fan of something you love to doing that same thing you were a fan of. So I grew up loving pro wrestling. Jeff grew up loving pro wrestling, but we didn't ever wrestle. I got to work for WWE in different capacities and work with talent, but I never got to like wrestle, right? Which was like every kid's dream, watching Ric Flair throw a figure four on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and going, no, Ricky, don't tap, please. Like that's everyone's dream, to go from that to the guy in the ring that kids are screaming, no, don't tap. I wonder if you can talk to me about that, because I know you were a fan of wrestling and now you still are. Like, I'm a fan of movies. I like acting and a man watching them. But to go from being a fan to becoming that, what's that like, man?
So I started my training at 14. I was playing football most of my life, and I was a fan, of course, of wrestling. And I just said to my father, hey, I love football. I was playing for my high school football team. I said, Dad, I love this, but I want to try wrestling. I believe if I don't try for my dream, or I don't try this, I don't want to look back in my life and have any regrets, you know?
Did your dad know about pro wrestling, or was he thinking, yeah, you can go for the wrestling team? And you're like, no, pro wrestling. Oh, he knew. All right.
Yeah. We would go to wrestling shows all the time together, you know? Okay. And so I told him that. He was very supportive. We went to a meet and greet with Brian Danielson in the city of New York, in New York City. And I was like 13 at the time. I said, hey, I want to wrestle. And I asked him for his insight or his advice or just words of encouragement. He was so encouraging, and he
yeah, you met the nicest wrestler in the world to get you into wrestling. Mm-hmm. You got lucky there.
That's also why the East Coast is so much cooler than the West Coast when it comes to wrestling. Like being from Jersey or New York or any of like Florida, you tell your dad you want to get into pro wrestling, and he's like, yeah, let's find a school and let's find. If I told my dad I wanted to be a pro wrestler like in Washington State, he'd have been like, what are you talking about? No, go get a mop, stupid. Nobody wrestles. Like that was like so outside the realm of whatever, but I love this. All right, keep going. Sorry.
No, of course. My father's amazing. And he really, I give him all the credit in the world, because he didn't know, it's an unknown world for him. You know, he was a quarterback. I was a quarterback playing football for the football team. And we were just so aligned with that. But he put his trust into me, and he got me into it, and he was there every step of the way. He would drive me to training every week until I drove. And yeah, I'm very blessed to have had that support that early on, because I know some people might not have that, and I wouldn't be where I am now without it. So yeah. And then, so once I began training with Ring of Honor, that was when everything changed for me in my whole life. You know, I grew as a man, I grew as a performer, I just grew it in every which way possible.
Is that where you started?
I started at ECPW, and then I transitioned to Ring of Honor around like 17 or 18.
Wow, dude, at 17 years old?
Yeah, and then I worked for them from when I was like 18 or 19 till I was 20, and then COVID happened. But yeah, it was just an amazing experience for me, getting to be in that atmosphere that young and learn from, Delirious, Jonathan Gresham, Cheeseburger, Red Titus, and Will Ferrara. Those are the best people to learn from. And also great human beings too, to have in my corner and have in my ear. So I was very blessed to be in that spot.
What'd you guys do during COVID? Did you guys, how'd that work? Nothing?
during COVID, wrestling was very slow, so I kind of focused on my personal life, my family. I was always traveling ever since I was like 17, and I started debuting and just hitting the road. I never stopped. I was traveling every week, so I kind of just took the time during COVID. Whenever I could wrestle, I wrestled, but I took the time to grow my relationship with my now wife. Took the time to travel, I'd always travel and wrestle, but I made sure to travel and to go to places and just to enjoy the area, and do a lot of family stuff because I didn't get the chance to do that when I'm always traveling.
Nice.
So I want to look, Japan is my favorite place in the world. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you wrestled there. How old were you when you went to NJPW?
I worked for New Japan last year, but it was in the States.
Oh, it was in the States. So you haven't had the culture shock of traveling over there yet?
I went to Japan in December.
All right. So tell me did you wrestle there or were you just going to visit?
I worked for JTO in Japan.
Okay.
And I wrestled and it was phenomenal. It was, yes, the culture shock was there.
Yeah.
First of all, the beauty of Japan is just something you can't even explain, right? The wrestling, I love gritty, technical wrestling. And that's what we got to do out there. And the crowd was great. It was just such an amazing experience. But New Japan in the States had a lot of the same atmosphere, I felt like. The passion from the crowd that you get from Japan felt very similar to when I was working for New Japan in Philadelphia.
Do you find the crowd cheers for different things in Japan as opposed to what the crowds on the East Coast prefer?
Yes. So I would compare slightly Japan with the Northwest because they appreciate character or things that are different so much as well. So part of my character, I use energy drinks to fuel up my comeback.
I saw that. Yeah.
And the company and the people in Japan, they were screaming, "Get that!" Like I had the drink in the corner, and the crowd in Japan was just so like, "Get the drink, get the drink!" And it was so cool.
I love that.
Eat for power. Great. Eat for power.
It's like Popeye the Sailor Man getting his spinach, man. I love that shit.
Exactly.
I absolutely love
when
that.
I finally got it, the place erupted.
You know who's going to be pissed they didn't think of that is Logan Paul. He's going to steal that gimmick.
Oh my God. He's stealing that 100%.
Yeah. Then you're going to go, oh, no, that's my thing. Yeah.
You got to get your hands on him in real life. That's the only way you can stop him, man. Like,
only way.
Artists get stolen from. Picasso stole from Modigliani. People don't like to talk about, or Modigliani is the only way Americans know who he is. But Modigliani was his real name. And he stole from him.
Yeah.
Not only his art, but his style sometimes as well. And that was like when he was doing things in a more African style, that was all coming from Modigliani. Like artists are always going to steal
every day. My jokes are on memes on Instagram every single day. I'm like, that's my bit. They just ripped off. Anyway.
Do they credit you?
No,
but steal. Even guys like great coaches like Andy Reid will admit it. He goes, "Oh, I steal from college all the time. I see a play that I like. I totally." He doesn't give the other coach credit. He just steals it. Artists steal.
But we have a time point. We have a time stamp.
Yes.
That
everyone
we've talked
will know
about this. And Vinny did it first. Logan Paul, if you try to take it, you little squeaky creep. Yeah, this is Vinny's, baby. And if you want to fight him, you can fight him. But he's got something better than Prime, son.
Outside of wrestling, where do you find a lot of passion? Where do you find a lot of peace? What other interests do you have that you focus on? Or is it all wrestling 24/7?
A lot of it is wrestling, but I really do enjoy helping others. That makes me very happy. I work for my side job. I work as a bus driver for special needs children. I enjoy that,
Bro, you're like the sweetest dude. You're sweeter than Bryan Danielson. What the hell?
I don't know, but I love when I travel, I love to it's wrestling mostly, but I love traveling. Traveling's amazing. Yeah. I love superhero movies, horror movies. I filmed the movie this year, my first ever movie.
Congratulations. What do you mean you filmed it? You acted in it, produced it, directed it? What?
I acted in it. It's going to be coming out very soon. It's a wrestling movie, but there's this bit of horror element to it. And
hold on, it's a horror wrestling movie? Oh my awesome. God.
That's like our dream.
Love this. Is it like happening during like a night where there's going to be like an actual event?
Don't
spoil it. Don't spoil it. No, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. I actually want to watch it.
I don't know for sure about all the details, but I do know that's something that I've been really invested in. You know, how my character in wrestling gets to react to things that I wouldn't react in the wrestling show. You know, because it's a movie, it's a different scenario, different timeline, just different everything. But it's still Power Punch. It's still the character who I am as a wrestler in a movie, and you see it much deeper. You know, I'm very grateful for this opportunity because it's me as a wrestler, but just put into a movie format with a real story that fans get behind. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, it's something that I've been really diving deep into. Just like I've been watching a bunch of horror movies to see different ways people react to things. Yeah, I just love horror. I love comedies. That's what I love to do. And I love the gym, of course.
The gym, I know. I could tell, bro. You're thick. How old are you, Vinny?
25.
25 years old, dog. You have so much time to chase this dream. You've been doing it since you were 14, man. I wish you nothing but success. I wish you nothing but health. I wish you nothing but continued energy drinks, and nobody stealing that idea, because I love that gimmick. I think that's so slick. I think it's so slick. And we'll call his ass out if he steals it.
No, I got your back, dude. I'm pretty loose-lipped. I got you.
Awesome.
I'm not afraid.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, guys.
Vinny, where can people follow you on social media, or do you do that stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Instagram is Vinny Pacifico, Twitter, Vinny Pacifico 1, and Facebook, Vinny Pacifico. And TikTok, also Vinny Pacifico.
We were watching, our producer sent us a bunch of your stuff so we could watch before we got to talk to you and meet you, and learned that that's your real name, Vinny Pacifico. Not just a great wrestling name that Vince made up. It's your actual name, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
you were definitely born to be a wrestler, dude.
Wish you all the best, brother. You're the man.
Although Vinny Pacifico, the quarterback, would have sounded cool too, man. Pacifico for 60 yards. That would have been good. All right, man. Thank you very much for being on the show. Everybody, tune in every single Thursday. Thank you for making these shows special for us. Tune in every Wednesday for our regular show as well. On behalf of Vinny Pacifico, Mr. Jeff Dye, I'm Freddie Prinze Jr. telling everybody peace. This has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura Podcast Network. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.